Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I think everyone has seen videos of a guy training his baby son in football, calling him a Project Mbappe. But what if you actually want to raise a son who will earn almost 80 million a year and score a hat-trick in the World Cup final by the age of 23? Here is what you need to do. First of all, you need to understand that Mbappe is not purely French origin. So you will go to the nation where Mbappe is genetically from, Cameroon. You will organize a 100-meter national competition among all women in Cameroon, and you will make a baby with the winner. Together with your new wife, you will fly back to France to ensure that your baby will have a European passport. For the next 9 months, while your wife is pregnant, you will ensure she eats only organic and healthy food to make your baby as healthy as possible. If you avoid the risk of having a girl, you have done everything perfectly in preparation stage. Right from the moment your baby is born, you will immediately start working on your goal. Instead of cartoons, he will watch highlights of Thiago Alcantara, Neymar and Paul Pogba to ensure he falls in love with the game. The only toy he will have is a ball, to ensure he feels comfortable with it. And his only pair of shoes will be football boots, to make sure he feels as comfortable on the football pitch as in real life. To become a top football player, you not only need to be good physically and technically, but most importantly, mentally. So when he turns 4, you will send him for 3 years to Shaolin Temple. These 3 years will be used for discipline and behavior development. You might think it's not the smartest step to send him away for so long for discipline development. But trust me, after these 3 years, the boy will evolve from a kid to grown-ass man ready to face any challenge. This will be especially beneficial when someone tries to provoke him in the future, and instead of getting offended, he can just low-kick the person who offended him, like a prime Cantona. After he returns from China, you and he will be happy to see each other, but not for long, because another trip awaits him. For the next 3 years, you will send him to the Brazilian favelas to gain that unique Brazilian flair. If the average person cannot juggle the ball more than 5 times, the average Brazilian can at least do an around the world and rainbow flip. It will be beneficial for your kid to grow up in an environment where everyone lives and breathes football. If he learns to play on the sand or in some cage barefoot, he will undoubtedly find it easier to play on professional pitches in professional boots. This trip will only be beneficial if he doesn't join some gang to find money, so you will periodically send him some money to avoid that problem. After he returns from Brazilian favelas, he will be already 10 years old. He already had a strong discipline which no one has in his age, and Brazilian flair which also no one has got in his age, because from this moment he will stay and develop in Europe. Now you need to send him to an academy. There are many top academies in Europe with great records, and it's hard to guess which academy will be the most beneficial. But I didn't say he needs to go only in one academy. First, you will send him to Barcelona's academy. There is no need for an explanation. Barcelona probably has the best and most popular academy in the world over numerous years. There he will gain the firm Barcelona culture of passing and understanding how to play in a team. After Barcelona, you will send him to Juventus academy. It doesn't matter which Italian team you choose, the main focus here is to gain knowledge about defense and tactics, which every Italian team seems to have from the moment they start existing. For the last 2 years, you will send him to Stoke City's academy. You might say this will harm his progress to become the best football player, but what's the point of being the best football player if you cannot do a job on a cold rainy night in Stoke? He already knows how to play in a team and how to defend. But you don't want him to become the new Javier Mascherano. You want him to become the best football player who can carry his team to victory by himself. So it's a brilliant opportunity to learn how to carry his team. Because of how good he already is, he'll make his debut as soon as he turns 16 years old. From that moment, he will start every game in the season and become the top goal scorer in his team. Every team will logically want him, so he will have plenty of offers to choose from. He will choose Borussia Dortmund. He chose some because who cares about being the best football player when someone is paying you 100 million per season? Nah, he will choose Borussia Dortmund because they knew how to develop young players, or in other words, flipping them for profit. You also need to remove any teenage problems that your son could encounter. So at 18 years old, you will find him a Muslim wife to stay with him at home all the time. He'll break every record that Bellingham has reached in Borussia and become the best football player in Bundesliga at just 18 years old. Borussia will want to cash in and he will want the move. So he will move to Real Madrid for 100 million euros. 3 years later, after winning a Champions League and World Cup in which he scored 4 goals in the final, your Project Mbappe will become the youngest Ballon d'Or winner in the history of the game. It will be a long road to reaching this goal, but now you know the path to becoming the father of future Ballon d'Or winners. That's all for today. See you soon.